That's also annoying sometimes. Bah humbug.
Oh.
Oops. Thank you, T-Bank. Thank you, T-Bank.
This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
1, 2, 3. Lovely.
Good evening, everyone. It's Thursday night. It's 8 p.m. and you are welcome to the Maastricht Edition on Facebook Live. I am your co-host, Tracy, and together with Joe, we'll be bringing you our regular segments and the usual fun and games. Next to that, we'll also be joined by one of our all-time favorite people, the lovely Adina Petra from Insights. Be sure to stick around.
Yay! Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Maastricht Edition. Here we are again. Hello, Tracy.
Hello, and a ho, ho, ho to you, my dear.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. I'm so bloody hot. I don't know how Santa does it. I really don't.
And you've only got the hat on. Think of it. You've got all the bits. My goodness, you know. And up and down
it's a very furry hat.
Well, it is a very furry hat, but very charming all the same.
And you've got all Rudolph on us.
I've got my little antlers on this evening, so yes, and also some other little bits and bobs to share with you during the show. The merry.
Oh, are we trying to get into the Christmas spirit? Do you think?
We are. Look, bells. Oh, it's Santa's sleigh. Do you hear it, Joe?
Oh, I do.
He's gone wild.
You've got jingle balls. Excellent.
Jingle balls, indeed.
Oh, well, Renee's already in the house with us. Hello, Renee. Lovely to have you with us. Have you got jingly balls this evening? Let us know. But yes, it's well, how many shopping days is it, Tracy? I'm not keeping count.
I've lost track at this point. I tell you, there's not that many left. So get shopping, people. If you haven't done it now, you're cutting it fine.
You are. I put my Christmas tree up last weekend. Now, people who know me well will be like, really? You're usually very strict about this. 2 weeks before you put it up, 2 weeks after you take it down. But I thought, you know what, sod it. I'm going to put it up, try and get into the Christmas spirit. And I failed miserably. But the tree's up. It looks beautiful. I have an absolutely lovely Christmas tree. I really do. And I've got some sparkly lights dotted about the house and everything. But it is very difficult, isn't it, Tracy, to get into the Christmas spirit this year?
I have to tell you, we also put our tree up last weekend. We have a beautiful Japanese spruce that we've called Sprucey. And I've also put up a few, I know, what was lovely is we got the tree. It's a proper tree with roots and everything, so it'll live in our garden afterwards. And what was lovely at the Intratown, which is the local garden centre here, is that when you bought a real tree with roots, they gave you a little baby mini Christmas tree for free.
Oh,
it's like this size. So he's in a little pot with some lights as well. It's just very charming. But like you, I've put up a few little odds and ends and knickknacks. It didn't go too wild, but there's a little effort going on. So, but most exciting, I want to introduce you to somebody.
Oh, please do. Oh, my life. Are you pleased to see me, Tracy?
This is Norm. Isn't he adorable?
Norm the gnome.
Norm the gnome. Isn't he just, it's my most favorite Christmas decoration ever. This is Norm. Norm, meet the world. Here you go. Isn't he adorable?
He is, but he's not, I wouldn't call him enormous.
Oh, no. Well, it's a bit of a play on words, Joe.
Oh, dear. Yeah, that's very cute. Anyway, that's very cute.
Yes.
So where do you normally stick him, if I may ask?
Well, no, you may not. No, Norm has a very special spot next to a beautiful sort of lotus-shaped candle holder that we bought at Aachen Christmas market. And there's a little tea light goes inside, and it has this beautiful kind of red glow that comes out. And he sort of sits next to the candle, and it illuminates him very beautifully. So,
oh, very cute.
On the cabinet where the television is. So there you go.
Excellent. Well, for those people out there who maybe are also struggling a little bit to get into the Christmas spirit, because it's been a year, well, it's been a couple of years, isn't it? And maybe we were all looking forward to having a nice big family Christmas, and well, it looks like possibly we're not going to be able to have one with our friends and family. Adina Petra is going to be joining us later. She's our resident psychologist. She's going to be giving us some top tips on how to get through Christmas and winter without basically losing it. That's the plan. So
it's a tough time of the year anyway for many people. It's dark and dreary, and it's Christmas. Not everybody loves Christmas, you know. It's not the favorite time for everybody, and now with COVID mixed in as well, and people like me who had to cancel flights home for the Christmas vacation holidays. It's all well, it's good things there's people like Norm in the world to keep me cheerful.
Well, speaking of the world, of course, people celebrate Christmas all over the planet in different ways. Some people don't celebrate it at all, of course, but for the countries that do, they have different traditions going on. Yes. I thought I would run a few of these by you over the programme this evening. I'm going to start us off in the Philippines. They have a giant lantern festival. So this is held each year on the Saturday before Christmas Eve in the city of San Fernando, which apparently is the Christmas capital of the Philippines. And the festival attracts spectators from all over the country and across the globe, if you're allowed to travel, of course. 11 barangays, which are villages, take part in the festival, and the competition is fierce, apparently. Everyone pitches in trying to build the most elaborate lantern. Now, there used to be lanterns that were very simple, around half a metre in diameter. They were made of papel de Japón, which is Japanese origami paper, and lit by a candle. But today, of course, the lanterns are much more elaborate. Over the years, they've got bigger and bigger, and now they can be 6 meters across, absolutely huge. And they're lit by LED bulbs these days and sparkle like a kaleidoscope pattern thing going on. But they look really lovely. Now, in Sweden, this one I love because it deals with a goat, Tracy.
Oh, wow.
So,
you do love a goat, Jo.
I do love a goat in an appropriate manner.
Of course, yes, of course.
Let me hasten to add. But Gavla, I think it is, Gavla goat in Sweden. This has been going since 1966. It's a 13-metre tall Yule goat, which has been built in the centre of Gavla's Castle Square for Advent. And this is a Swedish Christmas tradition, which has unwittingly led to another tradition of sorts, because people try to burn it down. I know. So since 1966, it's been successfully burned down 29 times.
It's like a kind of Wicker Man kind of idea.
Kind of thing, yeah. So the most recent destruction was in 2016. But what you can do is you can, they've got a live webcam on the goat. So you can visit the website and watch the goat. Now, the goat doesn't move. It's huge. It's a whopping great big goat. And you can see these cars driving past it. And from the 1st of December, it's there. We can post the link later if anybody's interested. You can visit the Gavla website, and there's a live video stream of the goat. So...
Wow, that is something very different. Let's post the link.
It's bizarre. So I just wonder, though, because it doesn't mention anything about people getting arrested for burning down the goat, but they're saying it's a new tradition, so maybe it's okay to burn down the goat, but it seems a bit harsh.
it seems a bit of a waste as well if they've built this giant goat and I don't know. But what happens if he doesn't get burnt down? Does the goat stay there all year?
Well, it'll come down after Christmas.
Oh, so they take it down.
They're going to take it down anyway. So
Yeah.
it's all a bit bizarre. But anyway, yes, I can tell you, I had a look just before the show, and the goat is still standing.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm very actually quite happy. Cheers to the goat, Sweden. Thank you.
Yes. So, but I've got some more of these throughout the show, so we can pop in and have a look at that. And of course, yes, we've still got some titty bitties coming up this day in history. We're going to be popping in with Meet Maastricht to see what they're going to be nattering about. It's something to do with mountains, and it turns out that tomorrow is International Mountain Day.
Oh, very nice.
I don't know if Lucy from Meet Maastricht knew that when she was making this video, but yes, International Mountain Day. Apparently, there's 3 different reasons why it's International Mountain Day tomorrow. They're all unrelated, depending on which country it comes from. But the one in the US is to do with the fact that in certain colleges, if they cancelled the lessons without prior notice, all the students left and went to a nearby mountain.
Okay.
And that warrants International Mountain Day, apparently.
Well, I don't know. I
don't know either.
it's just as weird as the goat in Sweden story, to be honest. Good Lord. Fair enough.
Bizarre,
well, maybe we'll be more enlightened when we see Lucy's video clip later on.
Maybe we will. Now, of course, if you are going to go and sit on a mountain, Tracy, what would you take with you?
Well, it would very much depend.
How about a book?
Oh, sorry. Let's try that again. Yeah, I was still on a different one. I didn't realise you were already going to the book.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can tell we are not rehearsed. Tracy, if you were going to go to a mountain, what would you take with you?
Now, I've thought long and hard about it. I would take a book.
That's a good idea, Tracy. And you know what? I think I have just the book for you to take.
Hallelujah. Tell me, Joe.
Well, thanks to Kirsty from the English bookstore in Maastricht, we have...
Blankety blank. Oh, no. Book of the week. 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 Book of the week.
Excellent.
Love you, Bradley.
Oh, that was a bit painful.
Well, I do try.
Excellent. Oh dear. Right, so the pick of the week this week is by Marcus Zuzak. He has a book called I Am the Messenger. And this is the novel of a young adult, a contemporary tale of self-discovery and stepping out of the ordinary. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I see. Very interesting.
It follows Ed Kennedy, a young cab driver, and the thrilling series of events that ensue after he stops a bank robbery.
Wow. Okay.
Uh-huh. Now, apparently, Marcus Zusak has a very unique and engaging writing style, which makes this novel perfect for those who love a winding story you won't want to put down.
Indeed. When the name came up, I had a flashback, and I've just Googled it, and I'm right. He also wrote The Book Thief some years ago. Yes, which was also very...
They made a film out of it, I think.
That's right. I understand they did. And that was also quite an unusual book. So I guess, indeed, he has this kind of style. But very nice. Not as festive as last week's suggestion. But as we said at the top of the show, not everyone, gets into the festive groove this time of year. So It's nice that we're having a bit of something for everyone.
Yeah, so there's the recommendation for Book of the Week this week from Kirsty at the English bookstore in Maastricht. I Am the Messenger by Marcus Zuzak. It did come out before The Book Thief. This is one of his earlier books. But I gather, he's only written a few books, but I gather all of them seem to be winning awards and he's doing very well and such like. So, yeah, so there you go. Book of the Week.
Earworm.
Actually, talking of earworms, of course, now we are at that time of year where they're playing lots of Christmas songs on the radio.
Oh, yes, they are.
It has come to our attention here at the Maastricht Edition that if you want to make a Christmas song Christmassy, you need to play sleigh bells along with the song.
Of course, it's a must. Ask East 17. Look at that, Joe. Even in the show, suddenly we're all festive.
See, it does work. I think there's something about it, isn't there?
Well, it's the little horses cantering. It's the sleigh bells.
Sleigh bells ring. Are you listening?
Sleigh bells ring, indeed. In the lane, the snow is glistening.
It is glistening.
Yes,
it is. So we're going to test this theory.
Oh God!
Because I have a list here from the Rolling Stone magazine of 50 best songs of all time.
Right.
Kristen's in the house. Hello, you're just in time. You're gonna love this,
or not,
or not.
Run away! Oh, God.
So we're gonna test this out. I'm gonna throw some songs out there, Tracy, that we're gonna sing. Yeah. And you can rattle your bells in the background.
Right. Bell, singular, but I'll do my best.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It sounds like you've got a whole lot of them, even though it's one.
One bell.
It's magic.
It's just me. I've got the bell technique, baby. Anyway, what's the song?
Okay, so we're going to start off with a little bit of Motown. How about Dancing in the Street by Martha Reeves and the Vandellas?
Okay, it's not my favourite song, but we can do it.
It's not about your favourites; it's about their favourites. And this has been this is number 40 in the list actually of favourite songs of all times.
Well, it's way down in the list, so no wonder I don't like it. But
we'll move up the list. I'm sure we'll find something you like. Oh my God, we're going to spend more time discussing what she liked than anything else. Right? Are you ready?
Right. Do, 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 do.
Calling out around the world, are you ready for a brand new beat?
Summer and the time. It's summer, but dancing in the street.
Is it working?
I really don't think this is working on any level, Joe. Oh, God.
Okay.
It's summer. Pick a more.
Okay, let's have. Well, this one you'll like. I know you like Buddy Holly.
Yes. Better.
There you go.
Right.
Name this tune. That'll be the day when you say goodbye. That'll be the day when you made me cry. You say you're gonna leave. You know it's a lie, 'cause
that'll be the day when I die. I'm not sure. No, maybe I need to ring the bell during our song, perhaps, not just at the end. Try one more.
Okay. Let's have a look. I don't. No Woman, No Cry by Bob Marley. I don't think that's going to work.
Move on. That won't work. We need something with a bit of swing. Anything by Michael Bublé on there?
Oh, that's not going to be in the top 50. Sympathy for the Devil, Stairway to Heaven. I think this is appropriate. Help by the Beatles.
Well, I think that's probably something we're gone past at this point. Let's try.
Help! I need somebody help. Not just anybody help. You know I need someone.
That's our best one.
I think I think there's something in this.
I really hope there's not. Let's move on past this moment, Joe. Perhaps Adam, you can cut this out later.
Oh my goodness. Well, it seemed a good theory,
The theory is sound. Maybe it was our execution, or maybe just not all songs can become Christmas songs.
Maybe, but there has been some very shit Christmas songs over the years that have got to number one just because they put a few sleigh bells in the background.
That's the thing. People get a bit, misty-eyed around the holidays. They're full of glow and, things like that. And this probably adds to it,
Okay.
I know.
Oh, well, we tried.
We did. God loves a trier. Amen.
Oh my goodness. He doesn't love our singing, but he does love John.
Even Norm left the building. I mean, that's just terrible. Norm is gone. Poor Norm.
Dear.
Right.
Well, maybe we need a year to practice this. So we'll do it again next year, but we'll put some time into it. No, maybe not. Tell us what you think. Maybe you could do this at home. Yeah, try this at home and then post your videos of you singing any song at all, but with a little ding, 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 a sleigh bell, ding, a ding, ding, jingle balls thing going on in the background. I mean, it's got to be worth a try.
Why not?
Now, under normal circumstances, the lovely Christina from Maastricht.com would be having a chat with us now. She usually has a little video for us of all the things that are happening in the city. Yeah. Well, guess what? Nothing's happening in the city.
I know. Well, some little things are happening, but not much. A lot of stuff's been cancelled.
No, we've got a couple of little things we're going to mention at the end of the show. But to be fair, Christina is in Lisbon at the moment because, as you know, she is one of the sopranos for Andre Rieu, and he's doing his thing in Lisbon. I know this because my stepsister went one day and watched the concert with her son and had a whale of a time. And then 2 days later, a friend of mine went there as well, watched it, had a fantastic time. So half of my relations and friends were in the audience, just goes to show. So, but they all had a lovely time. But Christina will be back with us again next week. But in all this excitement, it's probably time to relax a bit. What do you think, Trace?
Well, after all that singing, I think I need a time out. I think I do. Yeah.
I think probably the whole of Maastricht needs to relax a little bit now.
I may not recover by next week. I'm going to drink my wine and sit back and relax because I do believe it is time for
This Day in History, complete with jingly balls. Don't you just love it? Excellent stuff. Yes, it is time for This Day in History. And today, it is Thursday, the 9th of December. And on this, we have another song coming on here straight away. On this day in 1851, the first Young Men's Christian Association in North America was set up in Montreal. Ready, Tracy? YMCA. YMCA. Actually, I think that works.
We're getting better, Joe.
Oh dear.
I think we finally lost the plot completely now. Carry on.
Unfortunately, only 2 weeks to go and this will all be over, everybody. So in 1868, on this very day, the first traffic lights are installed outside the Palace of Westminster in London. They were resembling railway signals and they use semaphore arms.
Really?
That's me doing my semaphore arms. And are illuminated at night by red and green gas lamps.
Oh, wow. There you go. How tiny.
In 1884, Levant Richardson patents the ball-bearing skate.
Right.
Are you a skater, Tracy?
I have skated, but roller skating as opposed to ice skating.
Yes, I did a bit of roller skating when I was younger. You will not get me on roller skates now.
Or ice skates, I expect.
Ice skates, or anything where there is the remotest chance that I am going to fall on my ass because it's not pretty, it's not elegant, and I'm going to be down there for days before anybody actually manages to get me up again. So no, it's no, not at all.
Christmas. Yeah. Where were you at Christmas, Joe? I was on the ice, just sitting around.
Yeah, yes. People would be serving me my turkey and prosecco while my ass is getting colder and colder and turns into a block. Anyway, let's not dwell on that image. 1903 on this very day, Norwegian Parliament votes unanimously. What is it, Tracy? Unanimously. Thank you very much for female suffrage. Hurrah!
Hurrah!
And in 1960, on this very day, the first broadcast of Coronation Street on British TV. Now,
wow,
there's a lot of people out there from other countries who have no idea what Coronation Street is, but this is a soap opera, And I believe it's the longest running soap opera in the world.
I believe you're actually correct, yeah.
If it was broadcast to this day in 1960, that's a bloody long time ago.
And it's still going today,
Yes.
would you believe? Rover's Return.
Yes.
My accent's terrible. Sorry.
I think, yes, it's yeah. Well,
It's awful.
yeah. Okay, we'll skate over that. I think there's still an original member, isn't there?
I'm trying to think back, because wasn't the first...
Is it Ken Barlow?
Ken Barlow, but he was indeed in the first one ever. But didn't he leave the show subsequently?
Oh, I have no idea.
I think he's left the show in the meantime. Wasn't that, it was the Black and White was the first ever one, wasn't it? It was like people like,
yeah.
Was Elsie Tanner? Is that someone from Coronation Street, perhaps? But I honestly don't know. But I do think that people like Ken Barlow, or the guy who played him, and I don't know who else was back in the day in that series. The guy who played Mike Baldwin, he also passed away recently.
I don't know if he was in the beginning. You had Bette Lynch.
Bette Lynch and the Duckworths.
Yeah, okay. People have got no idea what we're talking about, have they? No idea at all. But anyway, yes, it's been going a long time. Now, the following year, in 1961, Tanganyika gains independence from Britain and takes the name Tanzania.
There you go.
I didn't know it was called that before. Now, in 1967, Jim Morrison, the lead singer of The Doors, is arrested on stage for disturbing the peace at the New Haven Arena in Connecticut, making him the first rock star to be taken into custody during a performance.
Wow, that is quite something. Normally they wait to be finished.
Yeah, I mean, what is disturbing the peace? What, from actually singing? I mean, I didn't think he was a bad singer. Personally.
Joe, did you not see our segment from 5 minutes ago? No,
yeah.
You know, if he was trying to do Christmas songs at sleigh bells, then it was probably correct that he was arrested.
Don't want to worry, Tracy. There's a knock at the door and I see some flashy blue lights, but we'll carry on. In 1978, there was the first game of women's pro basketball. That was in Chicago. And 10 years later, in 1988, on this very day, the Michael Hughes Bridge in Sligo in Ireland is officially opened.
Oh, to be sure. Top of the morning to you. How fabulous. Well, I got nothing to do with Sligo. I'm from way down in the south of the country, but I'm sure it's a fabulous place.
So you've never been on the bridge?
I have never been there, no. Well, you know how I live in Maastricht and I rarely leave Maastricht.
I know.
Yes, I lived in West Cork. I kind of never really left the province. You know, I sort of stayed in, sometimes, you're
very territorial, aren't you?
I am a little bit, yeah.
That's what it is. You're territorial. So wherever you live in the world, you just stay there. You're like a robin.
There you go. How very appropriate for the time of year.
There you go, see?
Sweet.
1997, on this very day, Tomorrow Never Dies, the 18th James Bond film starring Pierce Brosnan, premieres in London. He's the better British. And in 2015, German Chancellor the old Chancellor, Angela Merkel, named as Time Magazine's Person of the Year for her handling of debt and refugee crisis.
I remember that, actually, yeah.
2015, Amazon's best-selling book of the year is Girl on a Train by Paula Hawkins. I have not read the book, but I have seen the film. And it was a bit...
Well, I tell you, I got the book as a gift. Sadly, I watched the movie. Movie was crap. I sold the book. I didn't even read the book. I wasn't very... And it had such... The idea, the plot line, you were thinking, this could be really good, but maybe it's a film that, maybe I should have given the book a chance. Kirsty at the English bookstore would not be impressed.
No, she wouldn't. No, but then maybe there's a reason why she's not recommended the book.
Possibly, yes.
See? In 2017, on this very day, the same-sex marriage contract is legalised in Australia after being signed into law by the Governor General. And in 2019, World Anti-Doping Agency bans Russia from all major sporting events, including the 2020 Tokyo Olympics and the 2022 Football World Cup in Qatar for manipulating laboratory data.
Yeah, heavy stuff.
And on this day last year, Canada approves the Pfizer vaccine for COVID-19. That's what last year is going to look like for all this days in histories to come.
Going forward, yes.
All COVID related. Right, let's have a look at some birthdays. We got some biggies here. In 1886, Clarence Birdseye, the American inventor and founder of the modern frozen food industry, was born in Brooklyn, New York. In 1902, Margaret Hamilton, the American character actress who played the Wicked Witch of the West in The Wizard of Oz, born in Cleveland, Ohio. Kirk Douglas, the American actor, was born in 1916, famous for Spartacus. 1916. And he was born in Amsterdam.
Was he now?
In New York.
Ah, there you go.
1934, the wonderful Dame Judi Dench, the British actress, was born in York, in England. We love Dame Judy.
We love
1950, Joan Armatrading, the British singer. Love Joan Armatrading. She was born in St. Kitts. 1953, John Malkovich, the American actor, was born in Illinois. 1957, Donny Osmond, the American singer of the Osmonds, was born in Utah.
And they called it puppy love. Oh, I guess we'll never know. We like Donny Osmond. Yes.
We love Donny Osmond. And finally, if you are a Star Trek fan, you will know that somebody will be born on this day in 2340. That is Worf, the Klingon character on Star Trek The Next Generation.
Kapla! Fabulous.
I just thought I'd throw that in there. And one extra special birthday. I would like to extend a big, big happy birthday to my husband, JW, who is somewhere else in the house at the moment. It's his birthday today. So a big happy birthday to him. And
happy birthday, JW.
This day in history. Thank you all. Jingle, jingle, jingle. So coming up shortly, we have Adina Petra from Insights, our resident psychologist. She's going to be joining us to talk about how to get through the next few weeks without losing it completely, because
we might need to do an episode on how to get through this show. God.
I wonder if we can get her to sing. I don't know if it's appropriate for what she's going to be talking about, but
maybe not. Let's see how it goes. We
will. We might be able to steer her in that direction. But in the meantime, I think it's probably time we have some of that really cheerful news.
Yes, and it's again very happy stuff here. God.
Well, at least you got your reindeer antlers on.
Oh yes. That lightens food, doesn't it?
There you go. Tracy Taylor with the news.
Thank you, Joe, and good evening, everyone. It's December 9th, and you're watching the Maastricht Edition on Facebook Live. First, a look at your weekend weather, and it's going to remain cold enough for the coming days with daytime highs of 5 degrees. There is a chance of sleet on Friday. Saturday will be a bit brighter, however, but rain is on the way for Sunday. Moving to your bulletin for tonight and a roundup of local and domestic news. Limburg is the 6th biggest COVID hotspot in all of Europe. 2 in every 75 residents were found to have had the coronavirus in the past 2 weeks. Of the 211 European districts, only 5 have had more positive coronavirus cases. The entire Netherlands has remained dark red, the highest colour rating on the coronavirus map, for the 4th week in a row. Dutch hospitals are opening a national phone number for people who are unsure about vaccination against COVID-19. The Twijfel telephone, or doubt telephone, can be called as of Monday next and is intended for people who have questions about coronavirus vaccines or would like medical advice. The line can be reached every working day from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. on 088 75 55 777. It seems the next Dutch cabinet may have to take drastic action to ensure the future of Schiphol, because the airport currently doesn't adhere to rules on noise and nitrogen compound pollution. The airport may have to cut the number of takeoffs and landings by 20%. EU mobile phone users will continue to enjoy free roaming across Europe, phone calls and web surfing until 2032. As of 2017, the abolition of roaming charges was one of the most popular reforms for EU consumers. This ruling affects all 27 EU member states, as well as Iceland, Liechtenstein, and Norway. However, the roaming rule will not apply in the United Kingdom. Here in Maastricht, and the Crouch Heron Hotel is set to expand and add an additional 50 hotel rooms. The monumental building known as the Sociëteit de Stoers will soon become part of the five-star hotel and facilitate this expansion. The Oostwegel collection, led by Camille Oostwegel, bought the building at the Crouch Herengang of Saud University of Applied Sciences to take the five-star concept to an even higher level. And it's the last weekend of the 2021 Formula One, with an exciting Grand Prix final set to take place in Abu Dhabi this Sunday. It all comes down to this race, with titled contenders Max Verstappen of the Netherlands and Lewis Hamilton of the United Kingdom currently tied on championship points. They are set to battle it out to the final checkered flag of the season. Lights out and away we go. And finally tonight, if you are sending Christmas cards or gifts to an address within the Netherlands this month, it's best to post no later than December 18th. For international deliveries with post.nl, it's advised to post by tomorrow, December 10th. If you're using a courier service like DHL or UPS, then international packages should be sent by December 15th and domestic parcels by December 21st. And that's it for tonight. For more local news, you can follow RTV News in English on Facebook and Instagram. If you are a local business, be sure to check out the Support Your Local Business South Limburg Facebook page, a joint initiative between #Maastricht and the Maastricht Edition. And if you want to discover events, concerts, and cultural activities going on in Maastricht and the surrounding areas, head on over to the website of our partner, maastrichter.com. Keep in mind, COVID-19 may impact some of the events. If a historical city walking tour is more your thing, check out Meet Maastricht, the key to your city. And finally, don't forget that you can always find us on the Maastricht Edition Facebook page, on YouTube, on Redbubble, and on Instagram. For all the details, check out the maastrichtedition.nl.
Nicely done, El Tracy.
Thank you, darling.
Lovely jubbly. Kristen's just been saying that her whole household was hit by COVID. She says they're all good now, so they've come out at the other end, which is good to hear. And Edney, after listening to our rendition of YMCA, is renaming us the Village Maastrichters.
Oh, fabulous! I love it.
Okay. Oh, I feel a t-shirt coming on.
Yes, absolutely. I love it. Yeah, moving.
Before we get Adina on, I just wanted to throw another Christmas tradition at you from Austria. You may have heard about this one, the Krampus.
Oh, yes.
This is a beast-like demon creature that roams the city streets, frightening kids and punishing the bad ones. I know.
I have to cut Norm's ears.
This is St. Nicholas's evil accomplice. In Austrian tradition, St. Nicholas rewards nice little boys and girls, while Krampus is said to capture the naughtiest children and whisk them away in his sack.
Oh my goodness.
I know. It's horrible, isn't it? The first week of December, young men dress up as the Krampus, frightening children with clattering chains and bells. I mean, really?
Well, it's okay, Norm. Poor Norm is traumatized. Good Lord. Anything more cheerful on that list, Joe?
Yes, I do. I sure. Yes. But let's get lovely Adina in. I think.
Yes,
that's a good idea. Adina Petra from Insights is in the house, I believe. She's loitering with intent.
Drum roll, or in our case, jingle bell roll.
I can sort of see her.
Guest of the week. Guest of the week. Guest of the week. I'm here all night.
Adina's going to be
she's here.
Oh, here she is. There she is. Oh, hello, Adina. Look at you. You're looking all festive.
Fabulous.
Hello. How are you this evening?
We're very well. I feel a bit uncoordinated. You've got matching lipstick with your hat.
Well, yes. Well, it's all festive. It's all celebration. Technically, even if it's in isolation, it's still celebration. So, we go on. The show must go on, as we
The
say.
show must go on, absolutely. And I believe, actually, you did succumb to COVID recently.
Yes, yes. I had to get into the latest fashion trends and get myself the latest COVID variant before imported variants came around. Yes, it's true. But I am lucky that I had a very mild form of COVID. I believe having been vaccinated had something to do with me not experiencing symptoms too intensely. And I am still a little bit, I have to say, my energy levels are still a little bit not, I don't feel 100% back, but I am COVID-free. I tested yesterday, so it's negative again. Yes, and I went to the office today for the first time in 2 weeks. I was very, very happy that I could see people in person again, and
yes.
Just be together with everybody. It was an isolating experience, but thankfully I am good.
Excellent. And actually, that's something we want to touch on here this evening, this isolation that so many people have been suffering with we're getting on for nearly 2 years now. And even though certain restrictions have been lifted, I, for one, have found that even since we've had the vaccinations, I am constantly hearing about people getting COVID and going into isolation. I'm hearing more about it now than before we had vaccinations. So with so many people going into isolation, mentally, this is going to affect you, I think, even if you've not got into isolation, the fact that you're hearing about it.
Yes, yes. It definitely has an impact on us. And I believe that by now, pretty much everybody knows that we are in an ongoing stressful situation. And when we have prolonged periods of stress, inside our body, what happens is that we release a lot of cortisol, which is the stress hormone. That also has the side effect of lowering our immunity, which makes us even more predisposed to catching all of the viruses and the bugs that are around us, but it also impacts the way our mood goes. So, of course, it's a very challenging time. As you know, I'm a trauma therapist, so that also puts us the idea of we are undergoing a collective sort of trauma. We are prevented from being in connection with other people, and it is against our human nature. As human people, we are thriving on connection, and when that is so segregated for so long in so many times, that really creates a big distress in us. So yes, it's difficult, but I do also know about us humans, looking a little bit more on the positive side, let's say, that we are very, very resilient and we are very, very adaptable. And luckily, we also still have a little bit of a technological way of still being in connection with one another. I remember, I think I was in your studio last time more than 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
When we were all together sharing the same space, yet somehow we can still manage to come together, we can still have a bit of fun, and we can still feel that we are doing this together, right? So there are some ways to go about it.
Well, there's been a lot of talk in the press about COVID fatigue. And when we think of fatigue, we just think, oh, being tired. But I wonder if there's other symptoms that we should be looking out for if there's a possibility that one of us is suffering from COVID fatigue.
I think we're past the point of suffering from COVID fatigue. I'm actually seeing more and more rise of the cases of burnout. Because it's absolutely exhausting. So fatigue was maybe 6 months ago. I would, if you keep going and you keep going and you keep being exposed to the uncertainty that COVID brings, this mentally exhausts you and your emotional resources get depleted. So in that sense, you're basically starting to burn out. And a couple of symptoms that you can experience is also losing your interest for things that you used to have an interest in.
Definitely, that's something I've been struggling with, motivation to do certain things that normally give me so much pleasure, but I'm kind of looking at them going, no, I just can't be bothered.
Yes, we like predictability, and we like to know that if I'm engaging in a certain action, meaningful, I'm expecting to see some results. But when it's like somebody's dangling a carrot in front of all of us, perpetually, then it's really, really difficult to keep that motivation going. So I'd like to say this to absolutely everybody. Please don't feel guilty for it, because we're all going through the same thing. Our motivation is not an infinite resource. Our willpower is not something that we just have paramount amounts of. It's a limited resource, and it's heavily impacted by the context in which we are in. And right now, if the context is suffering, we are going to suffer as a consequence of being part of that context. So it's natural that this happens. Another consequence of this extreme exhaustion or burnout or complicated fatigue, if you want, that I notice is, aside from losing your interest from the things that you normally would be interested in, is also having a natural tendency to be a little bit isolated. And I know it sounds a bit counterintuitive, because what do you mean? Everybody's in isolation. How much more isolation do you want? But I see it's a consequence that people feel they are experiencing a sense of hopelessness. So then the tendency is to retreat a little bit more and not to keep engaging with the people that are sharing the same narrative.
Yeah. And do you think that may be a case of you're just fed up with talking about it, and it's very difficult to find something new and interesting to talk about because we're not doing anything new and interesting?
Yes, that's one thing. But the other thing that I believe is at the core of this is the fact that for us humans, the most undesirable emotion is helplessness. We do not want to feel helpless. We do not want to be in contact with our helplessness. So even when we come together and we start talking about COVID and we start complaining about COVID, it's in the back of everybody's mind. There's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
We are all together. We are all helpless, and nobody knows. Not even the government knows. Not even the pharma company knows. Nobody knows how this is going to play out. So it's in contact with helplessness, and therefore we're desperately trying to avoid it. So in our avoidance, we may resort to giving up on our hobbies, giving up on being social, being a little bit disengaged from everything. But again, this is a counterproductive measurement because we long for connection. So then we might succumb to feeling a little bit depressed if we pull back too much from it.
Okay, well, look, we're coming up to Christmas. So, for many of us, this is a favourite time of the year when we would normally be with friends and family. And of course, last Christmas, for many of us, we weren't able to do that. And we find ourselves possibly in the same situation again this year. So how are we going to get through this? How are we actually going to get through Christmas, making the best of it as we possibly can when we just don't even feel like putting up our Christmas tree?
Yeah, I get that question a lot, actually. Also a bit challenging in my practice. My clients keep searching for answers in me as if I'm not part of the same.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Yes, come on, Adina, solve this problem for us.
There are 3 easy steps to go through a pandemic.
Genius.
Yeah, sadly, I don't have that. If I would gladly share it, But something that I've started thinking about is that when we are facing outward adversity, the thing that we can do, because we're also limited now in our social contact, is to turn our attention inwards and to dedicate extra time to our self-care. Because there isn't much we can do to solve the problem. We can't have control over the rules, over the regulations, over the, backflip mutations that this crazy virus is doing. But we do, and we can have control over ourselves and what we do with ourselves. So the number one priority in this, and I call it winter break, not necessarily Christmas, because I'm aware that not everybody celebrates Christmas. Yeah. The best thing we can do is to really take care of our basic needs. Catch up on your sleep and relaxation. Make sure that you have good food, good nutrition. Make sure that you stay hydrated. take care of your health and engage in meaningful movement. Be it that you take maybe some yoga at home. 30-day challenges are very popular right now. YouTube has a lot of them. Or that you like, I don't know, weightlifting. Move your furniture a bit around. That can also be helpful. There are many ways to keep active and engaged, even in the context of being maybe by yourself or restricted in what you can do. And another thing that I would recommend are actually creating maybe some routines that are helpful in connecting with ourselves. And the funny part is that if we all do that, then we all have something in common. And the next time we meet, we have something to talk about. So something new or something different, right? So I thought about recommending some introspective exercises and creating some routines that can help with that. So, for example, you pick your favorite little notebook and you put it by your bedside. And then every morning when you wake up, maybe you can dedicate 5 minutes to just freestyle journal on the question, how am I doing today? I think this question is really underestimated because in the era pre-COVID, we were used to bumping each other on the street and just throwing, how's it going? Yeah, I'm okay, bye. Very superficial, very tiny.
Yeah.
But actually, if you spend a little bit of time with yourself, just asking yourself the question, how am I doing today? I think that's a very beautiful way of reaching inwards or turning towards yourself and actually giving yourself a chance to maybe vent a little bit, things that we would normally do if we would be able to come together in collective, right? So this would be one of the things that we could be doing in the morning, for example. Something else that I'm thinking about is that when we are in this collective stress that creates also trauma response, a trauma response means that I am dissociated. I'm functioning separated from my body most of the times. It means that I'm intellectualizing everything and I'm not paying attention to my body sensations. Maybe I forget to eat. Maybe I don't drink enough. Maybe I overeat because I'm not in contact with my body. So I end up perpetuating this separation, right? And maybe a quick fix to that is just a 5-minute body scan. And I know it sounds high tech, but it's actually not. You just close your eyes and you just think of your body from head to toe. You just go and you just acknowledge what is present as a sensation inside your body right now. Is there tension? Is there tingling? Is there tiredness? Is there soreness somewhere? Just go from top to bottom and bottom up and just acknowledge how you're feeling. This is one way to connect with your body and to pay attention to what it is that you're actually needing right now. It could be that you need to move a little bit and you need to shake off a little bit of that posture that you've been having at your desk all day. It could mean that you need to get up and take a walk a little bit, maybe 2 times around the table in which you've set up your home office, right? But something needs your attention and you need to take of action, and you can't know that until you connect to your body, because our bodies tell us what we need all the time. We just have to make time to listen to that. And I think this is a beautiful way of connecting with our body and signaling, hey, I'm still here. I know it's hard and it comes to me to stay in a dissociated mode, but I can still be present for myself. I can still show up for myself, and this is a way to do that. And the third exercise that I thought of recommending people, and this is one of my favorites, I have to say, again, you can pick up your journal in the evening or just do it mentally, or pick up your phone if you're that kind of person, and just do a gratitude exercise. Because I know, again, the world is burning and the situation is very helpless and hopeless, but there are still things that we can be grateful for. There are still things that we can appreciate about ourselves. I was grateful to have had the vaccine so that the COVID that I've been through was terrible. I was grateful that I had an amazing response from all my friends and coworkers who have offered to come bring me food. And if I would have said yes to everybody, I wouldn't have needed to say yes to food for the next 3 months, probably. So it was so sweet and so endearing to see how much care and attention people want to give me in a moment where I struggle. So expressing your gratitude for what you have, just looking around with the intent with the purpose of finding reasons to be grateful for, can really trigger a good, joyful response in us. And I think we all need a little bit of that right now. So this would be the third exercise that I'm recommending for people that they can easily do at home.
Well, it sounds to me, basically, over this coming period, we just take that holiday season as a time to take care of ourselves. So maybe switch off the TV, stop looking at our phones and listening to all the bad stuff that's happening out there, and look at ourselves and just sort of, I'm just going to give myself a bit of a detox and look after myself and read a book, take some time out and be grateful, as you say. So that, I think these are wise words. Kristin just said that she's very grateful that she could immigrate from South Africa to the Netherlands. So
that's fantastic.
And we're very glad you're here too. So we're grateful for that as well. I believe that you are going to be jetting off very soon, Adina.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Actually, tomorrow.
Oh,
that's pretty soon. Back to your homeland, I believe.
Yes, I will make a pit stop first to Austria, where my sister lives. So I'm going to spend a couple of days in Vienna with her. I really look forward to some quality sister time. We are very close, the two of us, so I really look forward to that. And then we are hopping on a plane and we are going to spend Christmas with our mother in Romania and with the family of the sister of my mom, aunts, uncles. Romanians celebrate with family. So we're very much looking forward to that. It's been 2 or 3 years even since we've managed to do that, to come together as a family. And sadly, a couple of weeks ago, my mom actually twisted her ankle, so she has a cast on her foot right now.
Oh no!
Yeah, so we thought this is the perfect time to actually go home and spoil her rotten and give her all our love and attention, because that also is a magnificent healing force. So I really, really look forward to it.
Well, somebody else is looking forward to it, because we have an under Petra saying yes, Vienna calling.
So sweet. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Well, it sounds wonderful. We wish you the happiest of times with your sis and the rest of your family, and hopefully you get some time put aside to take care of yourself as well. So thank you very much for your wise words, Adina. It's always great to see you and listen to you. We can all take away either 1, 2 or all 3 steps that you've given us, I'm sure, and we look forward to seeing you in the new year, all refreshed, raring to go for 2022.
Yes, yes, for the next year as well. So I look forward to that. Thank you so much for having me, and keep sane and keep safe during this holiday season. Have a great time, and thanks again.
Take care now, Adina. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
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 Such a sweetheart. Wow.
Yes.
Good advice. Yeah. Really,
very good advice.
I hope everybody got something, if not all 3, at least one of the advices that kind of hit home or
absolutely. Well, we've had loads of messages coming in, so I think that's a resounding yes from everybody, to take care of themselves that little bit more. Right, well, my goodness, we really are running out of time here, and we haven't had Lucy yet. We need to go and hop over to Lucy from Meet Maastricht. So she's going to be telling us a little bit of history about a mountain. Go for it, Lucy.
Wow.
Hello, everybody. I hope you're enjoying your weekly TV dose, and I'm here to, add my part, 5 minutes of history and heritage of Maastricht, the city we all know and love very much. It doesn't look like weather to be outside, but still I would recommend you will take the opportunity to go and walk after, I'm done talking about this. Maybe not in the dark, but during the daytime, just to have some exercise and fresh air, because the news is dismal. And it gets dark very early. So stretch your legs, expand your views, and go and explore St. Peter's Mountain, because that is what I would like to talk about for a few minutes today. Of course, it's not a mountain, we realize that, but it's the Netherlands, So Of course, from the city, the most obvious thing is St. Peter's Fort, which I already told you quite a bit about. Well, the 5-minute version. But the area around it and behind it, stretching into Belgium, is of great interest in all sorts of ways and fit for exploring. You can go by yourself. There is a separate area where you can take your dog and have him off the leash. Everywhere else, the dogs need to be on the leash. Fines are steep if you don't. And annoyance of your fellow walkers will be palpable. St. Peter's mountain is only about 100 meters above sea level, and you will notice that a bit further south there's a higher area that is not actually part of the mountain naturally. That is a man-made hill constructed from what the cement industry has dug up, because you will know that St. Peter's Mountain has been destroyed to a large extent. We are now very well aware, or most of us are, of the significance of the cultural history there, of the natural riches there. But in the 20th century, the dominant thinking was, we need to build for the people. We need to build to repair the war damage. We need cement. And this hill is completely made of marl. It isn't really. But it is a type of chalk that can be used to produce cement. So this enormous hole in the mountain is really a mine. And there's not really anything new about that, because under the surface of the mountain, it is riddled with mines. I mean, even in prehistoric times, people were taking out stones. But then they made alleys in the mountain. You can wander them. Do not attempt this by yourself. People will die when they do that. This has happened. Not frequently, but this has happened often enough to, be aware of that being a risk. Contact the excellent guides and storytellers at Maastricht Underground. They will take you there. They can show you St. Peter's Fort, but they can also take you down into the ancient mines. We call them caves, but they're man-made, so they're not caves in that sense. Dotted around, on top and on the flanks of the hill, are several castle-type houses. There are villas and there are huge farms, no longer functioning as farms, but interesting to look at anyway. It is basically a city park for Maastricht. I mean, it's a kilometer to the Vrijthof, and the large owls who live in the quarry will go hunting on the Vrijthof. So I suppose they contribute to keeping the pigeon population healthy there. Never mind the weather. Bundle up and go explore St. Peter's Mountain. See you next week.
Oh, thank you, Lucy. Lovely stuff. So there you go. A mountain that's not really a mountain, but it's our mountain.
We'll take it.
We'll take it, exactly.
Indeed.
So we're at the end of the show, our Trace.
We've got to go.
We have got to go. I think you might have a little titty bitty for us before we go.
very quickly. I'm going to read this from my phone, so bear with.
Okay.
Very exciting. There is actually this coming weekend on the 11th and 12th of December, Saturday and Sunday, from 12 o'clock until 5, there is a sustainable Christmas market happening in Maastricht. How cool is that?
Nice.
I know. So it's going to take place at the Landbouwbelang, which is kind of down near the Lumiere Bassin area. So just a little bit, easy enough to find. There's free entry. And basically, it's sort of getting back to kind of, sustainable gifts and things, and not just buying stuff during Black Friday and Cyber Monday and all that kind of stuff. So you can pass by and check out the array of products made out of sustainable materials that they have. And you can find a guilt-free, beautiful gift to your loved one here. So if you still have to go shopping, this is an option. Or you could buy something for yourself. That could also be. They've got things like bags and laptop cases, which are made and upcycled out of wasted plastic bags and wrappers. They've got household decorations made out of recycled plastics, coasters made out of recycled plastics, art, jewellery stuff, lots and lots of things. So if you're around this weekend from 12 to 5 on Saturday and Sunday, especially Saturday, it's going to be dry. Why not have a potter around the market?
Fantastic idea. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, I did have some more traditions from around the world, but you know what? I'm going to save them till next week.
Next week.
Have time.
I've also got Christmas cracker jokes, but I'll save those for next week too.
Oh, well, that's definitely worth tuning in for, because Tracy does love a Christmas cracker joke.
She does. Christmas.
Tracy loves them. Anyway, thank you so much for joining in this evening. It's been lovely to have you all on board. Thank you to Adina for dropping by with her wise words. And if you want to listen back to what she said, don't forget you can watch this again on Facebook or on our YouTube channel later on. So we shall see you again next week. The countdown is still on. We've only got a couple of weeks to go. So we shall be sort your hair out there, Trace.
my antlers are attacking me. Carry on. It's time to end the show, Joe.
Well, what I may say is I think if you're going to do the antlers thing again, you're missing the nose. You're going to have a red nose next time.
You're right. I'll work on that. I'll get wardrobe. Honestly, you can't get the staff these days. Really.
No. Well, usually if you drink a bottle of brandy, your nose goes bright. Well, it does for me anyway. But anyway, I'm not advising that. I'm not advising that at all. No.
Bad advice.
Very bad advice. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, have a lovely weekend, whatever it is that you're doing. We shall see you again next Thursday. Stay safe. Don't forget to keep an eye out for all the rules and regulations wherever it is that you're going. And we shall see you next Thursday. Have a lovely weekend. Take care. Bye. Hurrah. Oh, take this bloody thing off. Oh. Adam. No, sorry, Adam. I mean, really.
It's not that kind of show.
It's not Christmas yet.
Oh. Very good. Oh, just turn my lights out.
Oh.
My light's just gone out. Oh, God, it's all going wrong.
Oh, no, I've got to put it back on because we've got to take a photo. But
there we go.
There we go. We had loads of interaction this evening.
Did we? I didn't see anything, but then again, it's all on Facebook, I expect.
It's all on Facebook, but loads of messages coming through. There's a couple of people who have just been messaging all the way through the show.
Did they say nice? Did they say nice?
It's all good. Yes. The last few messages was thank you, girls, from Renee. Thank you, ladies. It's been fun, from Kristen. So, yeah.
Nice. Good.
It's all been very positive, so that's nice. And of course, we had Vienna on there as well. So
very nice. That was quite cool that Adina's sister tuned in.
Yeah,
very groovy. Okay, well then let's do our picky, and we can all move. I'm going to put Norm in the shot. I'm going to hide behind Norm.
Hold on.
He's very cute. You see Norm in the shot there? Yes, he is. Very, very important to have Norm in the shot. God, there we go. And my little antlers in the background.
Oops.
Oh, God. Oh, there's a Santa and everything coming on the scene. Oh, you're right there, Norm. Get your little nose out. Right.
Stop hiding, Tracy.
I'm hiding
Tracy.
behind. You can see my...
Tracy? She's doing that on purpose. She's doing that on purpose because she's a nightmare.
Poor Norm, little Norm. Let's have a look at this picky.
Works actually. I don't know. It clicks every time he moves his head. Why didn't we have him on the show?
Well, I tell you, instead of us bloody singing YMCA, oh my goodness me.
We'll have him on next week. I don't know why he clicks so. Every time he moves his head, he clicks. But do I know that feeling? Every time I get out of a chair, I click and clunk.
How's the picky, Adam? Is it okay? Do it again. Put it into... Oh, no. Skype was enough. Oh, hang on. I've got it in Skype here, I think. Let's check it out.
Oh, that's lovely.
Oh, look. Joe, you look very festive.
We both do.
Yes.
Lovely.
Okay. We can work with that.
We can.
I shall do the post and on. So next week it's our penultimate show of the year. Hurrah! So we've got Robert coming on, I believe, right? So that should be fun.
We've got Robert and then Verrassing. Just quickly while you're here, Adam, I spoke to Christina yesterday from Verrassing, and they're going to send us either a video and or they're going to sing live on the show. So she will be back this weekend. But this is for the Christmas show, the one before Christmas. So next week is Robert and then Verrassing after that. But I just thought I'd give you a bit of warning. I thought, yeah, that's the one for Verrassing. And I've managed to today. I've booked 3 weeks of January up for guests.
Bless you.
So we've got January sorted. Okay. Well, it's about time he did some bloody work. Part-timer that he is.
Fingers crossed. Bless him.
Hopefully.
Yeah. We shall see.
Hopefully. Okay.
All right, guys. I'm going to go.
Well, that was fun.
Very good fun. See you guys next week.
Thank you, Adam.
Bye.
And speak to you soon. Bye.